And then, bro, it's Champions League is back. And I don't know if I'm nervous is the word to speak, but I can just imagine like what the players are going through, like the psyche in that. Do you think it's excitement
Mm.
going up against, or to contextualize, Arsenal are going to play up against Bayern, the first home game. They're playing
Mm.
first home at the Emirates tomorrow night. Do you think if you're a player going into this game, we haven't been in the Champions League for like what, since 2010, 14 years. First time in the quarterfinals since then. But since then, since a lot, even think much even longer than that.
2006
2006, is
or
it?
8.
Yeah, 2000, it must
Mm.
be eight. But anyway, so now as a player, bro, what do you think is going on through their minds? Do you think it's excitement? Do you think it's nerves, butterflies? What do you think is going through their minds? Or do you just think like, because I personally think it's a free hit game. The only reason it's not a free hit game is because of Bayern's form. And the reason I say free hit game is
Mm.
because for me, win or lose, I'm proud of the lads. I don't care what happens, win or lose. But if we lose, I'm a little disappointed because of what Bayern are this season. So going into that game, do you think the players go into that with some sort of confidence because of how Bayern are? The history is the history, right? In a once-off game, anything can happen. What do you think is going on in their minds?
Mm. I think it's a mix, bro. I think of course nerves are to be expected because none of them really have been there. But I think there's also that confidence that comes from the fact that they know how good they are. And it's not that they're good by chance. It's like they're doing the good things well. Like they're defending as a team. Like you can see the structure, you can see the system in place. And there's also that trust. And in all honesty, I feel like that's what every team wants. And you know, form is to their benefit, and they're playing at the Emirates. First game, give you a chance to really assert yourself. No Bayern fans as well, so it's like the environment is as safe as it can get
Mm.
for you to go out there and really play your game and kind of take the pressure off the second leg as well. So I think that the boys will be mindful of that. And I think last season was such an important experience for us where it hurts in the moment. But I think for such a young team to not do it and to feel that kind of pit in your stomach, like, shit, we really dropped the ball here. I think it's important because now you don't want to keep feeling that feeling. Like, you don't want that. And I think that's why we've seen, like, the progress that we've seen because now it's just like, now you sweat the little things, you know? Now we're
Mm.
not trying to concede even one goal. Now
Mm.
I think you even saw it in the game against Brighton. Now it's like, okay, we've scored our seconds. Let's give you the ball and let's see if you can break us down.
Mm.
You know, we don't mind defending. And that was still like in this like late 60s, early 70th minute. It's just like break us down. Here, you can have the ball. We don't mind. Break us down, break us down. And when we get a chance, we'll take it. And guess what? We've got one chance and we took it. I think that like setting those little milestones for yourself is exactly how we should approach this type of thing. Um, I think as much as we haven't been here in a while, they can't afford to go in with the mentality of win or lose because like then you won't mind like losing a duel, as Arteta
Mhm.
says.
Yes.
Because it's like we've never, and I feel like he wants it, and I think when you're in this position, you should want it. It's just like you have the opportunity, go as far as you can go. If that means
Mm.
a final, if that means a semi, whatever, but make sure that you go as
Yeah.
far as you can.
And I saw, firstly, I think you perfectly captured it. Like, this is the perfect environment for them to go out and do their stuff. Like you said, bro, it's
Yeah.
going to be what, 60, 65,000 plus fans of just Arsenal, bro. You boys go out
Mhm.
there. And now it's different from the Porto game because the Porto game, going there, we always knew we've got our home supports coming back. So the first game, it was like, do we stick or twist? Do we attack? Do we defend? Do we this? Do we that? Do we this? So it was all half. So for this one, bro, it's just for Arteta to just be like, guys, the handbrake is off. You saw this team. They are poor. They got beat by Heidenheim 3-2. Right? Heidenheim is fighting for their lives in the Bundesliga. Right? They got beat by Dortmund, I think the week before that. They got mauled by Leverkusen, like over a month ago. Right? It's there. But let's not talk about them. Let's talk about us. We've got our supporters here. Our team is here, healthy, bro. It's there for us. So go out there and just do your thing, bro. I want tomorrow. Okay, we'll talk predictions maybe a bit later. But also, I wanted to ask you. What did I want to ask you? Shit, I lost my train of thought. But essentially, anyway, when you're talking about that game, bro, do you think that do we go all out attack, or do you try and just like mitigate a damage in terms of like we want a clean sheet, so maybe like 2-0, or do you say to the guys like just go out there and maul these men? Just
I think we approach this game how we've been approaching games in the league, where it's like you're giving nothing away and you're trying to score goals. If that means that you score 4 in the first half, if they give you a chance to do that, you know. But it shouldn't come at the expense of being open at the other end, you know. I think clean sheets will be super important because the Bayern, regardless of how it goes tomorrow, short of us winning like 7-0, you know, Bayern will feel like when we go back to the Allianz Arena, we have a chance, you know. So you want to make sure that you make it as difficult as possible for them to go back home with that confidence. And that comes from not letting them have anything.
Yes.
To the best of your ability, stop them.
Yeah, sorry, bro. Sorry to cut you off. I got my train back. So I was thinking, because I was listening to Jamie Carragher on Sky early in the morning.
Yeah.
And he was saying something along the lines of like, what he wants is for Arsenal and Man City to go through into the semifinals. Because if Arsenal go through against Bayern, Man City go through against Real, we play against each other in the semis. He's off the narrative that right now he feels he needs Arsenal and Man City to play each other in the Champions League semis to give Liverpool the upper hand to go on and win the title. I know we've already spoken about the title, but I just want to contextualize that. Do you think in the run-in, if Arsenal go through, what sort of bearing do you think that has on the season? Because number one, we're going to have to play Man City over 2 legs. And we saw how taxing it is when we played them now at the Etihad. Like playing a team like Man City is taxing. And of course, when you're going into that game, we're going to have to play our starting 11. We can't rotate it to that game. Then look at the league. I'm sure at the time, maybe there'll be, by the time the semifinals come, should we go through, maybe it'll be, even if you play Madrid, even if you don't play Man City, even if you play Madrid, I think there will probably be like 4 games to go at the time, and then you got a semi-final Champions League sandwiched in between that. How do you think that feeds into what Arsenal can do? And do you think by that stage, like it's a thing of like you're rotating one, play your best starting 11 in another? Like what do you think that does to Arsenal's season should that happen?
I think that's exactly where you want to be, because for where this team is going, that's going to be the reality. I was listening to Graham Souness on TalkSport, and he was just like, there's nothing worse, both as a soccer player and as a coach, to be towards the end of the season and like you're not playing for anything, you know? Like you want to play the big games because then it feels like, okay, there's a purpose to this, you know? I feel it galvanizes you when it's just like, okay, another box ticked, another box ticked. Let's keep going. And then it's positive for the squad because it's like guys also want to get in, you know? Guys that are feeling even a little niggle, like they're not making a big deal of it because it's just like, I want to play. And I'm not trying to put myself in a position where I don't play a big game. So even in terms of taking care of themselves, No one's gonna be sipping on any wine or eating any takeaways or doing anything like that. Now it's just like, yo, I want to rest, I want to recover, I want to be ready for the next one. I want to be ready for the next one. And I think that's the
Mm,
reality for all the teams. I think even when you look at City, the reason why they were able to win a treble last season is because everybody's ready to go. And
mm,
even if you don't play a game, right? I feel the like the three team contention for the title have enough of a squad that even if you lose a player, you know, there's someone, maybe not of the same ilk and the same quality, but there's someone who's willing to step in and who's ready to step up. And it's just like that's where
mm.
you want to be. For Arsenal, particularly, it's like you have your full squad available. It's guys are ready. Guys
I
are ready
agree.
and guys are fighting to start, you know.
Yeah.
That's where you want to be. As long as that can go on, you're in a good place. So I don't think that that's a negative thing. Um, I think it helps you the further you go. To Jamie's point, I don't think it will be to any benefit to Liverpool, even if Arsenal and City do face each other, because it's just like they've also got things to take care of, right?
Mm.
They've got their Europa League to take care of. So it's not like they're sitting resting while
But
everyone else is playing.
he can fairly rotate, bro. There's not much jeopardy in changing your team in the Europa League, bro. He can fairly rotate up until maybe he reaches
But
the semi-final or the final.
it's
It's
gotten
Europa.
harder though because
Nah,
they're playing Atalanta, which isn't
nah.
a powerhouse, right?
Thizo.
But what we've seen about these teams, let's not compare. They've had an easy run, right? Playing against teams like
Mm.
Slavia and those
Yeah.
type of things. Now all the throwaway teams are kind of gone. Now it's just like you can't
No,
afford
no,
to
no.
rotate and
Nah.
play like
No, no, I
anyone
agree.
there because you're focusing on the
Yeah.
league.
No,
Now
I
it's
agree.
you still need your Salahs to start. You
Yeah.
need your Van Dijks. And what
No, no.
impact does that have on
Mm-hmm.
them when you're playing weekend? Like for example, they play
Yeah.
for them their challenge is the fact that they play Thursday and
Mm.
Sunday.
Mm. But
That
that's what
that's a
I'm
lot
saying.
worse than Tuesday and
For me,
Saturday.
in my opinion, right, Atalanta and those teams, right, good teams by merit. However, if I'm comparing, bro, Liverpool to an Atalanta, I rate a front three of Liverpool that has what? Cody Gakpo, Harvey Elliott, and what? Maybe Darwin Núñez, whatever the case might be. And then a rotated midfield of Curtis Jones, of, I don't know, Zoboslai, whatever the case might be. I just personally feel in the Europa League, up until they reach a semi-final, where it's like the last four teams, right? I just feel they can have space of rotating. It might even be that they rotate in the first leg and then play the prime team in the second leg type of thing. I'm just saying the quality that Liverpool
Mm.
possess should be enough, even if they don't play their first team, to go on and beat Atalanta or whatever. But anyway, this is not about Liverpool. It's not about Liverpool. It's not about Europa League. This is the big boy table. So let's go. Before we just have a word on the second game, what's your prediction? Arsenal Bayern, bro.
um, I'm gonna go 3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal.
And I expect 3-0, but I feel like
Hmm.
Bayern will also have a bit of a chip on their shoulder and they should have enough quality to at least try
Hmm.
and create one big chance and maybe put it
Hmm.
away.
I'm gonna go with 2-0 Arsenal. I see us getting a clean sheet. That's job number
Mm.
one. Um, but then again, Bayern are Bayern, bro. Harry Kane always scores against us. That's the only thing I'm really scared of. But I just feel like even when we were texting each other yesterday, bro, as long as
Yeah.
we go out there and do what we do, I am not scared, bro.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. As long
Yeah.
as we play how we've been playing, how I know we can play, how they know they can play, Bayern are no competition for us. And I say that with the utmost
Mm.
respect because we
Yeah.
know what Bayern have done to us. If anybody knows, we know what Bayern can do. We know.
Yeah.
But that's good. I
Yep.
think so I think 3-1, 2-0. I think, man, whichever way it goes, I'll be happy, man. I'll be honest. And then just for the last few minutes, bro, let's spare a word on the second game, bro. I mean, why do Champions League even play these games at the same time? I don't understand, bro. How are you
Yeah,
gonna
it's
choose?
ridiculous.
How are you gonna decide which one to
It's
watch, man?
it's ridiculous. I have no idea why they didn't put one on Tuesday and one on Wednesday. I think
No,
it's
almost
also kind of
Wednesday.
they
Wednesday's the thingy, the Barca games, Barca, PSG. But I'm
yeah.
thinking, I'm saying, why don't they make one like kick off at 6, and then they make the other one kick off at like 10, or whatever the case might be? Why are they both at the same time?
I don't know. I think for the same reason that they didn't put one on Tuesday. As entertaining as Barca and
Mm,
Atletico and PSG and like Dortmund are going to be, I think
mm.
the big boys games are really on Tuesday. And they knew that if they split them, the viewership may be less. So rather put them at the same time and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Um, it's
But
going to be a cracker either way, man.
do you think Real Madrid are going into this with like having like a week full rest, almost 2 weeks full rest? Do you think that feeds into anything, or it's just semantics?
Yeah, look, I think it can go either way. Sometimes it can
Mm,
be to your benefit, sometimes it can be to your detriment. At this
mm,
stage in the season, I think a rest doesn't hurt, but
mm,
it's just like when you're playing, you're giving yourself an opportunity to like boost your form, right? So,
mm,
for example, someone like a KDB, who, since he's been back from injury, hasn't really had a standout performance. And then he plays Crystal Palace on the weekend, and now it's just like, ooh, KDB's back, you know?
mm.
So that's the benefit of playing games. Whereas for Madrid, like you've been resting.
I
Is
mean,
this
it
gonna
gives
have any
them.
bearing on how you play?
I think it gives them a chance because they've been also suffering with some injuries. So I think it gives them a chance because Bellingham was had that his shoulder was heavily strapped at some stage. So it gives him a chance to like get over that. It gives I think they had
Mm.
a bit of an injury crisis with their defenders, Alaba, Militao, Courtois. I think some of them, so I
It
think
doesn't
one
seem
of
like
them,
are
I don't
gonna
think
be
any of them
back
are going to be
though.
back, but I think it just gives them time to like prepare. But I mean, it's Real Madrid at the end of the day. They don't really, whether they were playing or not, you're still going to get a game out of them. But
Yeah.
I think for me, not having Kyle Walker is going to be, I'd really like to see, I think it's going to be maybe Akanji against Vinicius Jr. down that side. So
I wouldn't be
I'm
surprised
really,
if Walker starts, eh?
no, you won't. It's confirmed. It's confirmed. Like Walker,
Is
he's not
it?
even traveling. Yeah, he's not even traveling. It's Walker. I think who
Sure.
else? I think Stones as well. Stones is ready. Someone is what I think it's two
Stones is
two
ready. Okay.
two prime
Okay.
players. Ake, yes, Ake is the next one.
Yeah.
So I think, and those guys like, from the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
they've been Ake
Yeah.
has been the main left back. I mean, he chopped and changed with Guardiola at some point, but Ake has been a mainstay. He's been really big for them. And then on the
Yeah.
right, Kyle Walker. I mean, just says it for himself. So I think not having those two men, right, it's going to be interesting to see because without those guys, I feel their defense really suffers. And also we've seen, bro, Man City are just not secure at the back. They're always susceptible
Yeah.
to conceding just like a bozo goal out of nowhere. Like you don't even have to like the thing with
Hmm.
the way Man City concede goals is not even a thing where like you need to like outplay them or like do something extravagant, which
Yeah.
is why I was kind of disappointed
Yep.
with Arsenal and how we drew. We didn't create any chances against a team that like you can really like if you get men up the pitch, like they have moments that can, cause something. But I mean, when you've got KDB, you've got Haaland, you've got Rodri, Bernardo Silva. I mean, like it's really not much you can be upset about if we're being 100% honest.
Yeah. I think it's the tricky thing with City and what probably led to Arsenal's approach in their game with them is you can definitely get at them, but know that you like with getting players up the pitch,
Hmm.
they've got guys going the other way.
Facts.
So the same way you're looking to hurt them, they can hurt you. And now it's just a matter of who's gonna get hurt the most, you know?
Hmm.
Like those type of things matter. And I think the nice thing about the City Madrid matchup is that neither of them is at full strength, you know.
Hmm.
Um, Both of their number one keepers are, I mean, City Edison's closer than Courtois is, but
Hmm.
they've got able replacements in Ortega and Lunin. They're missing their center backs, first choice center backs, with Madrid specifically. They're missing. Militao, Alaba, as you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of who's going to partner Rudiger. Is it going to be a matter
Mm.
of Tchouaméni dropping back, which is something we've seen them do this season, or do they start Nacho?
Hey, both
So as
uninspiring options. Yeah. Yes.
exactly. Probably how City feel with their back
Mm.
four as well,
Yeah.
which is, I think that's why they've been more susceptible because it's just like defensively, Ake has been great since he joined City, and Walker's Walker. He's not going to give you a lot going forward, but my gosh, when it comes to facing the best wingers in the world,
You
he'll
don't want
do
no
a
one
job.
else. So yeah, bro, I think,
Yeah,
yeah, man, it should be very interesting. And for that reason, bro, I'm gonna go with 2-2 for this one. That's my prediction personally. I just see goals, man. I'm gonna go with 2-2. And then Man City to beat them at the Etihad.
damn. Um, I also see goals. 2-1 Madrid
2-1
in
Madrid.
this game specifically. Yeah, ultimately, I just feel like Madrid will have a score to
Yeah.
settle with City, and I think
Mm.
it's possibly the worst time for City to want to play Madrid right now because they're not at their best
Mm.
either.
Yeah, no, I agree, bro. But
Yeah.
anyway, we've spoken enough, man. There's gonna be so much football, like football every 3 days, every 3 days. So,
Yep.
man, it's gonna be interesting. Otherwise, Thizo, man, thank you so much. Hopefully next time Nero will come back. He didn't run away. He says he was busy. We don't know. But anyway, everybody, like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. And